If you can't kill a boss, no reason why you can't look like one. Moogle putting the WoW in transmogs.
Gonna get our time machine in motion, go back to Cata to get these shoulders, backbreaker spalders. We're gonna pull them from Dragon Soul Heroic, and I think it drops on a few different bosses, but that's the one with the best drop rate. Moving on to the chest, we're going ahead in the future. We're going to Shadowlands, a place where life and death are very convoluted and no one knows the difference. Necrolord campaign to get that chest piece. I think that's from the Abomination Factory. Marilus Assistant Sash, also from the Necrolord campaign, but this is Korthia stuff in order to get that belt, which goes amazingly epic with this. The legs, part of the same set from Maldraxxus and the Necrolord campaign as the chest. So we're sticking with a lot of Necrolord theme, which certainly works for DKs. Now this looks pretty epic on a human. Once again, the bracers. Necrolord campaign, Korthia is the place, rep and renown. Also that cloak is going to be from Necrolord. So a lot of Necrolord things going on here from different particular patches. The feet, stitched Harbinger Stompers. Once again, I believe that's the Abomination Factory that you got to kind of grind up in order to get that stuff. Here we go, stitched Tactician's Drape, rep and renown, also Necrolord campaign. The headpiece, well, that's engineering. WAD level engineering, check your local engineer or check your local auction house. And finally, we get to the weapon, which is from Jake Forrest, or I think the auction house. Most definitely going for a Frost DK look here. It's a mix of a few different xpacs. Ulduar, Yogg Saron is the boss to get the tier shoulders from Wrath of the Lich King. Now we're going to go to Legion, I do believe, Tomb Sargeras Mythic, in order to get the chest piece. So that's also 2 DK tiers, one from Legion, one from Wrath. That's what primarily this set's going to be. The belt is Antares Mythic. That's, of course, from Legion, a little bit of a different tier. So now we have representation of 3 tiers, but still 2 xpacs. Now we're going to move on to the legs, which are part of the same tier set as the chest. That's Mythic, Tomb Sargeras, Grey Warden leg plates. Finally, we're going to get to the bracers here, which are Antares Mythic. Various mobs, you could buy those on the auction house to go with those bracers. You can also go with the gloves from the set that the shoulders are from for Ulduar. If you want Doomwalker War Boots, Antares Mythic is the place. Goroth World Breakers, Gorothi World Breakers, to be precise. Now the back piece, this is Alliance only. 7th Legionnaire's Cloak, Borealis, rep and gold in order to pick up that blue cloak. The headpiece is from your Death Knight school, your starter school, DK starter gear, so that's easy to pick up. You can always buy it there if you don't have it, so that's pretty easy. And the weapon, Demise, Naxxramas, 10-man. We're shooting for a blood DK look here. It does work for Unholy. It doesn't really work for Frost. But then again, transmogs, highly, highly subjective. If you want to wear this for Frost, no one's going to stop you. Matter of fact, no one's really even going to critique you. Most people, they notice transmogs, but they don't necessarily say anything unless they really like it. No one in Stormwind's going to jump on you and say that transmog sucks. They will say that transmog looks really good. I've told people that. People have told me that. But no one's going to say, oh, that transmog sucks. It just doesn't happen. Eventually it might, but it doesn't happen. But these are highly subjective. Sometimes DKs want to look like warriors. Warriors want to look like paladins. Paladins want to look like DKs. That's the way it just goes. There's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes you wear an entire tier set because that's what they're intended to be done, the way it's intended to be done. Sometimes you just want to look good. You want to look different. So there's no right or wrong here. Well, there is wrong, but it has to be very, very wrong in order to be wrong. But my idea of a good transmog is something that represents, say, at least 3 different tiers and something that's a little bit unique or looks really good. So, but that's my idea. Sometimes I make things that are outside the realm of what I think is good because I know everybody has different tastes. But it's all subjective. That's the key point here. I did produce a very similar set to this one, but this has a couple of changes to it. The shoulders are Maldraxxus, the Necrolord campaign. Necrolord just works for Death Knights. I don't think anybody is outside of that Necrolord campaign, unless you're forcing something different there. The Necrolord just makes sense in every sort of way for DKs. The chest is a Cata PvP piece. We're also pulling the legs from that same source, as well as the boots, and I do believe the gloves. The belt is Grievous. That would mean Prideful for the Horde, so that's just marks of honor in order to get that belt. That's a warrior recolor on the belt. The legs, we said this, Cataclysmic Gladiator's Dreadplate leg guards. Say 14 times real fast, and it just doesn't sound right. The hands, Cata, once again. So the Cata pieces are the chest, the gloves, the legs, and the boots. You could also go with the cloak for Cata, with the Cata set, but I didn't do that. I went somewhere else. The feet, Cataclysmic Gladiator's War Boots of Cruelty. That'd be your Cata PvP vendor, marks of honor. Always like that Cata set. Very underrated, I think, for DKs. The back here is the Hollow Blood Cloak, which is Spires of Iraq. It's a quest reward. I think there are lookalikes, so check Wowhead for that. The headpiece is from Wrath of the Lich King. Wrath of the Lich King level engineering to get the headgear, and the weapon, which is Isle Expeditions or your auction house in order to pick up that mace. Lots of gray, lots of purple. Here we go. The shoulders are from Ny'alotha Mythic, so we're going to pull a few things from Ny'alotha Mythic, particularly the shoulders, the belt, and the boots. Now, the chest and the legs are from the same source. That would be Korthia, the Kyrian campaign, rep and renown for that. Forsworn Aspirant's Vestments on the chest piece. The legs are also going to be from that source. The belt is Ny'alotha Mythic. That would be Dressed Agath in order to get that. It's a decent drop rate for the Belt of Muttering Truths. Mutter, mutter, mutter. Moving on to the legs, Forsworn Aspirant's Leggings, Korthia Kyrian campaign, rep and renown. I do believe the chest and the legs could be quest rewards, those daily quests there eventually, but it's kind of rare you get lucky there. But it can happen. Gargoyle Spit Bracers, that would be Icecrown Citadel 10-man heroic on those bracers, which I think go really well with this set. Moving on to the boots, Ny'alotha Mythic, Prophet Skitra, 12% on the drop rate for those boots. Pretty good drop rate off of Ny'alotha stuff, actually, across the board, surprisingly for Mythic there. The back is the Dreadful Gladiator's Cape of Cruelty, Mop PvP vendor, marks of honor. Great looking cape. Finally found a set that it goes absolutely amazing with. Paramount, these are basically goggles from BFA Engineering. Really like those goggles on the set. And a weapon, Dragon Soul Heroic. We're shooting for our Unholy DK here. It's a mix of the Sunwell raid, which is where the shoulders are from, not the Edidar twins. That would be a little bit of a boo-boo. But yeah, it's a mix of Icecrown Citadel Heroic 25-man, and also some pieces are being pulled from that raid, the Sunwell from BC. The belt here is a little bit unique in a sense. Siege of Orgrimmar, LFR, Fallen Protectors drop that belt. So that, of course, is from Mop. That's the odd piece. Actually, another odd piece would be the head, which we'll get to. The legs, part of the same tier set as the chest. Lord Marigar drops the Laggards of Lost Hope. That's about a 20% drop rate. Decent drop rate on the legs. Moving on, we have some bracers here, which we're also pulling from Icecrown Citadel 25-man heroic, Lord Marigar as well. Bracers of Dark Reckoning, very DK-like bracers there. Moving on to the feet or the legs, Icecrown Citadel 25-man heroic once again. As you can see, the boss, decent drop rate on those boots. You could also use the boots that you pull from Sunwell, same set as the shoulders. So just keep that in mind. Gildathorian Cloak making an appearance again. The headpiece, Hellfire Citadel LFR. Cormrock is the boss to get that headpiece. And finally, the weapon, which is from your BC PvP vendor, Brutal Gladiator's Great Sword. My name is Luxeley. I want to thank everyone. Thank you for stopping by. Leave a like if you liked the video and got this far. You saw something you liked, I'm sure. If you didn't like it, you could leave a dislike, but then again, that also helps me, so sorry to say. Anyway, thank you for watching.